How's it going, guys? DemonDriver here. I was asked the question, do I ever use aluminum in the construction of RC airplanes or in making parts for my RC airplanes, my scratchable planes? And the answer is yes, I do. About in the last 2 years, I've definitely increased my usage of aluminum in making particular parts in planes and replacing older parts that were made from plastic or balsa wood. I now make them from aluminum. And let me show you how I use aluminum in my scratch builds. Let's take a look. Here are the wings of my Japan Airlines Convair 880, currently under construction. And let me show you the parts on this plane that are aluminum. And let's look at the first thing right off the door, and that is these gear doors. Main gear doors are aluminum sheet. They open, gears retract, then they close. You can see the control horn there for the servo attachment. They have not been attached to their respective servos yet. And then this leading edge flap style slat is made from aluminum. See, here's its servo. This will be linked, and then for high-speed flight and then landing and takeoff, it extends out, and this is aluminum. See, aluminum with hinges. And last but not least, this actual servo tray is aluminum. It's not yet screwed into place, but you can see that it is made from thin sheet aluminum. And that is a recent improvement on my planes. So let's look at the servo trays. This plate, the servo tray plate, is now aluminum. It used to be a rather thick styrene plastic. This is an old servo tray. Now you can see the difference. Once this is screwed down into place, this sticks up over the depron rather, or the surface, bottom surface, rather noticeably. But with this thin aluminum, once it's screwed into position, it's almost flush. So the aerodynamic qualities are much greater than the older servo tray. So that's aluminum right there. All right, and here are the wings, scratch-built wings to a plane I'm currently working on. You got your ribs, you got your main spar with backed up with internal carbon fiber for strength, leading edge balsa, aerodynamic leading edge, and gray Depron underneath. You can do with a plane that you're building. Here's a sheet of aluminum. I mean, you could technically sheet the upper aerodynamic surface of a wing with aluminum. There are videos here on YouTube of guys that have made entire RC airplanes from aluminum, and they come out really nice. But you can definitely take this kind of sheet and use it to sheet an upper surface of a wing or many other parts, and many other, even a fuselage. For thickness of this aluminum, let's go ahead and let's see how thick it is. I got my caliper here, and if I look, what is the thickness of this aluminum sheet? And it's about 1/20th of a millimeter. So it's very, very thin. Very, very thin. What would that be in inches? So millimeters and inches. So it's like not even a... So so in millimeters, it's about 20th of one. So in millimeters, it's about 20th of 1 millimeter thick. Very, very thin aluminum sheet. A little bit thicker than what you'd see on a beer can. But the advantages of it on an RC airplane are huge because it's strong. It's relatively lightweight. When you use a lot of this on an RC airplane, it tends to get heavier, because unless you're building a very small RC airplane or a very large RC airplane, then you're okay. It's when you build an entire airplane from aluminum in the medium size, 50 to 70 inches, that's when you kind of run into problems, I've noticed. But it's a great material. All right, let's cut some aluminum. When I cut aluminum, I use these heavy-duty shears, and they really come in. They're great for cutting aluminum. And as you can see, I mean, it's relatively easy to cut. You know, it really is relatively easy. You can basically make, you know, a basic shape, cut out a gear door. Primarily, I use them for gear doors and things like that. They're great for that. I mean, aluminum is just wonderful for that. But you know, you can bend it. You know, and that could be like a little airfoil. That could be like a replacement aileron. You just epoxy the back end of it, and there you go. Well, my friends, thank you for joining me, and that is how I use aluminum on my RC airplane. So the question is, can you use aluminum on and for building RC airplanes? And the answer is yes, definitely. To build a whole RC airplane out of aluminum, that's a little bit more involved, and that's that's something that is definitely doable. There's lots of videos here on YouTube of people doing that. But for making basic parts for your RC airplanes, aluminum is definitely doable. It's very easy. And I hope this video showed you how I use aluminum with my RC airplanes. Okay, bye-bye.